Hello everyone. In this video, let's discuss about the backward chaining or backward reasoning. In last video, we have discussed about the forward chaining. The video link is given in the description. You can access it. Now, if we see about the backward chaining, it can also be called as the backward reasoning also. So, backward reasoning also. They will ask the problem to solve. Let's first discuss about the theory. Then we will go with the problem solution. So first, the backward chaining or the reason is a form of reasoning which will start from the goal. So, which will start from the goal. Here, what is the goal in the given question? Prove Q. So, what we must make? Q as true. We must prove Q as true. So, that is the goal state where the problem will start in backward chaining through rules to find the unknown facts. That is, the end will be at the facts using the chaining rules. So these will be called as the rules. So in rules there must be left hand side and right hand side between equal. Left hand side and right hand side are there means we will call this as inference rules. Through this we must construct the backward chaining. So this A and B will be called as the single statement. So single statement means there is no left hand side or right hand side, only one letters are there. We will be calling single statement or the facts, because the single statements can also be called as facts because the single statements will always be true. Single statements will always be true. Single statements will always be true. Now we must prove it. So let's jump into the question, but let's discuss the properties. Move from top to bottom. So this forward backward chaining will go from top to bottom, that is from goal to the facts or the truth. Next, also called as the data driven approach, because using the data of the previous only we will be constructing the backward chaining, and it is used in the game theory. So what I said, it will start from the goal state. What is goal? Q. So it will start from Q, and if you see in the backward chaining, if conclusion are true, then premises is true. Right hand side will be called as the conclusions, this P, M, L, L, that are called as the conclusions, and left hand side will be called as the premises. Left hand side will be called as premises. That is, if right hand side conclusions are true, then the left hand side premises are true. So here if you see, Q is a conclusion. So first one will be true, goal will be true. So since Q is true, P will also be equal to true. So this is over. Now search P in the right hand side. So P is here. Now Q is true, therefore P is also true, no? Now since P is true, its premises, that is L and M, will be true. L and M. You should put like this. That simplifies and A, L and M. So and. Since P is true, L will also be true and M will also be true. Now see for L. The right hand side, L is at the two places. Which one we should consider means, if you see A and P, so P is already used. So we don't need to consider this one. So A and B. So A and B is not used. I will consider A and B. A and B. Since L is true, A will be true and B will be true. Another one left in the right hand side is M. That is B and L. So B and L will produce the M. Since L and B are true, M will be true. So what we did? We started from the goal state and we came to the facts or the single statement which will always be equal to true. Here we started from Q. So Q was the conclusion which was produced from the premises. Since Q, that is the goal state, will always be equal to true, and Q is the conclusion here, its premises was true. So we searched P in the right hand side. So since P was true, L and M were true. Since L was true, A and B are true. So A or B are true means we came up to the last, that is the single statements. The end will be at the facts. Facts can also be called as the single statements which will be always be equal to true. Hope you understood the concept of the backward chaining or reasoning. If you have any doubt, please comment below, and if you like the video, please subscribe for more engineering related topics and support us. Thank you.